Morning. It's 21st of March and it's just about 10:30. So I'm just gonna make sure that I am live in the correct place. If you are joining me, then please pop a comment in to let me know you're there watching. Say hello. If you've got any questions, any comments, then I can pick them up hopefully on my laptop. Okay, so let's just expand that and I'll just wait for a couple of moments. Just have a slurp of my coffee. It's nice to see the sun shining for a bit at the moment, so hopefully it will last. It was raining when I took the dog out this morning, so it was a bit yucky, but okay, just a brief sort of update before I move on to the crafting. You may or may not know we've got a new annual catalogue launching the 4th of May, I believe it is. Well, it's May, and there is going to be a colour refresh every sort of 4 or 5 years, stamping up, look at the colours, look at their colour families, so the brights, the regals, the subtles and the neutrals, and they look at what's on trend, what's sort of not as popular, and have a rejig. So we are likely to lose some of the colours. We will definitely be losing the older in colour group, which is actually it's one of my favourite colour groups. It's the soft succulent evening evergreen fresh freesia, which I really do like, pale papaya and polished pink. So those ones will definitely be retiring because they are the old in colours from 21 to 23. So we will be getting 5 new in colours coming in. We may get, well, we already know that Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon is coming back. We don't know where they're going to be in the colour collections yet, but they're 2 that are definitely coming back. So it'll be really interesting to see what they've done. In the meantime, what I would suggest is if there's any colours that you absolutely love, and stock up on the papers, ink pads, refills for the inks, because once they announce it, they will go pretty quick. I think there's already some that are starting to sell out and they won't be replaced. So if there are any, say any that you really like, and maybe you've got cardstock for, or maybe you've got an ink pad and a refill but you haven't got the cardstock for, then really good time now would be to get on and order those and get plenty of stock in of the colours you like. There are going to be some price increases in the new catalogue. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. It's it's life, isn't it? Everything's going up constantly. Stampin' Up do keep their costs as low as possible, and they don't pass on price increases unless they really have to. With cost of transport, fuel, products, just making products, everything everywhere is going up, so it's no big surprise that there are some increases. Again, I don't know how much these increases are at the moment. I'll be able to look at the end of March, 29th of March. I get to see the digital version of the new catalogue, so I will be able to see the prices then. So again, really good, sort of time now is to stock up on. I know cardstock and glues will be going up. Envelopes, all your sort of basics. It's a really good time to stock up on before the price increase. So yeah, so it's just one of those things. And as I say, no surprise, I don't think, to anyone. Certainly not to us as demonstrators. So anything else? I don't think there is at the moment. I'm going to look at sorting out a catalogue launch, ready for the new annual catalogue. It'll probably be, trying to think, I'm going away for a few days at the end of April and covering the first bank holiday Monday in May, and then obviously we've got the coronation the following weekend, so it's probably going to be after that, but before Whitsun half term. So as soon as I've got the details, I'll put those out on the Facebook page and that, and emails. But I'll probably also do an online walkthrough of the catalogue and things as well. Okay, so this is enough of me waffling on. I'm going to just turn the camera around and get on with making some products. It's a little 3D sort of gift bag that we're making today, so I hope you like it. Okay. Okay, so this is one that I've made earlier. It's just a cute little treat bag. Can be made in any cardstock and decorated however you wish, but there's quite a big space in there for chocolates or jewellery, little gifts. So I thought we'd do that today. Okay, so you need 2 pieces of A4 cardstock. I've got Gorgeous Grape for this one. That's one of my favourite colours. Okay, the first piece of cardstock that you need is 9 inches by 6 3/8. Now, if you've got one of our trimmers, the 3/8 line is sort of up to just up to the edge of there. Might have to stand up so I can see this properly though. Okay, so that's the first piece. The second piece is slightly smaller, at 7 inches again by 6 3/8. So back up to that. It's just really where the label starts again. Okay, so that's the 2 pieces of cardstock we need. I have also gone ahead and cut some designer series paper. Just line that out the way and bring in the Simply scoring board. can now see my measurements. So on the larger piece to start with, at the short side at the top, we're going to score at 3 7/8. So that's, these are marked out in 8. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's the line just before the 4-inch mark. Okay, and then at 5 7/8. Okay, now you're going to just turn it round. So we have the long side at the top, and we're going to score then at 2 inches and 7 inches. Okay, so we'll just pop that one to one side for a moment and bring in the smaller piece. And again, with the shorter side at the top, going to score again at 3 7/8 and 5 7/8, and then turn it round, and with the long side at the top we're just going to score at 2 inches. Okay, so now I can move this out the way. Okay, so these are our pieces of scored cardstock, and I have made a template here, so this is what they will end up looking like. Okay, so we've got just a little bit of cutting out to do. So on the smaller piece, we're just gonna do a little snip to make a slant on this end here, and then this piece here we're going to take out, but I'm going to just do a slight slant cut up to the score line, and then another slight slant on there. Okay, now we need to cut this score line up to here, and this bit will have a slant as well. This is going to be a straight cut along the score line, and then just a little bit there. Okay, so that's the shorter piece. Now, the bigger piece, we're going to do similar down on this end, but as you can see on the further end, we've taken out these 2 sections here. So I'll start with taking these out, and you want a little slant on there, just like a tab. Okay, and then so just cut that one out, a slight slant like that, and again a straight cut, and then a little slant. Okay, so that's the cutting. I'll move my template back out the way now. get rid of, just get rid of these little bits. Okay, so once you've done the cutting, you can then burnish all of the score lines, which I'm just going to go over quickly with my bone folder and do that. Okay, so this will join together like this, and this bit here, this section here, is the top flap. Okay, so that becomes this bit. Now, I've just used the corner around a punch just to do this, but you could use decorative dies, you know, edging dies and things to make it look pretty. This one I didn't put any DSP on this bit, but I'm going to on this one. Okay, so the first bit we're going to do, ooh, glue's escaping. Just get that on there quickly as we're going to come out a bit mad. You could use tear and tape for this as well if you prefer. You just have to be really careful when you're lining it up, because you don't end up with any wriggle room then. Okay, I'm just going to turn it up this way and line it up. Ooh. And as you can see, it moves quite well, especially with that amount of glue on it. I would put less normally, but it all came out. Just line it up again. I'm just going to get rid of some of that glue. Be all right, that's fine. Okay, so before we glue the next flap, we're just going to do this edge. This is a retired corner punch, so you could put it through a through your sort of cut and emboss machine with some pretty dies maybe. And there's in the contour, scallop contours, we've got a really nice edge. You could do that. There are decorative border edges, they would work as well. Could also, I guess, put it would probably work if you put a rectangular one on, just, or a oval one on just on the one edge and cut it that way. But just for ease today, I'm just going to use the corner punch and just round off these corners. Okay, the next thing you want to do is just roughly line up, use the grid paper for this, but line up roughly where you want your holes to go for the ribbon, and sort of just puts a couple of little dots just so that it's about roughly even. Okay, I can't find my old Stampin' Up hole punch, so I'm just going to use this one and just punch those 2 holes. Okay, so now while it's in this, we can now glue this side. I've got loads of glue coming out of this. I don't know what's going on with this one, but I'll try and spread it around a bit. Put the top back on. Okay, I'm just gonna, because I've glued that, I'm just gonna keep that down, and I'm gonna flip this side over and line it up so that it glues into place. Okay, so before gluing any more, I'm going to stick on my DSP, and I've chosen the Happiness Abounds Hues of Happiness designer series paper, simply because I really love this suite, and I just wanted to use the paper again before, because it will be going. So this is a layer of 4 3/4 by 3 5/8. Now it's non-directional, so see, it doesn't matter which way round you cut this, but see, bear in mind if you have got directional pattern, you want the longer side going up and down. So now I've changed my glue over, and it's not going to work, that one, so just bear with me while I find another glue. Okay, so we'll just put a bit of glue around the outside. And I've cut it just so that we have a slight border. It's like 1/8 of an inch border around there. Okay, so that's the one piece. Now I've also cut a piece to go on the back. You can decorate this as much as you like, really. On the other one I didn't have, I've literally just got decoration on the front. On this one there's nothing on the back, but I thought, well, use up some of this pretty paper. Okay, so we also will be doing is putting this one on here. So I want to just do the corner. I probably should have really waited and done the holes, punch the holes until afterwards, but I'll be able to line it up. Just stick this on. It might be just a bit fiddly lining these up, but it should work okay because I've already got the hole just to slot into, you see, so there. Okay, so from there we'll be able to now glue the base, and the best way of doing this is tuck tuck in the back flap. So this is the back of it, and then you can put glue on the other 3 flaps and tuck those in, and this will leave a nice clean edge on the front of the box, doing it that way round. I'll just get my bone folder and push that all down. Okay, so obviously that's not going to close like that. So what you need to do then is using your fingers and give it a bit of a squeeze so it all like, and then again you're going to just go over and punch. Through the holes, just trying to make sure I've got the right mark there. Okay, you can bend that in. Quite substantial little boxes, so you'd be able to put in some sweets, or you might be able to see better. There's quite a, even some hand cream, little shower gels, all sorts of things could go in there really. Now I was trying to find my fresh freesia ribbon and I seem to have misplaced it, so I'm going to use this white. It's a really pretty delicate ribbon, and I'm just going to thread it. I don't know if you can see this from the inside. Just chop. You get sticky fingers, you end up with everything sticking to you. But you just cut that off at an angle so that it's easier to poke through. There we go. And then just making sure that that's flat that side. Okay, and then it goes through. I really do have sticky fingers today, and that's causing me a few problems with getting the ribbon back through the hole. Oh. See if I find my pokey tool, that will help. Okay, just that's better. Oops. And then just poke that one through there. Hi Helen, how are you? Okay, so from there you can then do your bow. And so you can spend time fiddling with your bow and trimming off the edges. And then the other bit I was going to just do was a bit of just stamping a bit of a label. Just need to find what I'm looking for. So I've got a bit of Whisper White. I'm just going to stamp a I think I'm going to use this one, Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday, which is from the framed floret stamp set. and I'm going to stamp it in Gorgeous Grape. Okay, and then I'm just using this this punch. I think it's really quite pretty. Can't remember what it's called though, to be honest. Let me just have a quick look. I think it's in this one. It's a decorative circle punch. So I'm going to punch it out first of all in the basic white. And then I am going to also punch it in Gorgeous Grape. Okay, so with this punch, I've done a couple of different ways of with it, sort of offsetting it just slightly so that you've got just a border like that. And I've also cut it in half and created, let's see, a bit of a bigger border. Sorry, you probably couldn't hear that. A bit of a bigger border. So this is the one where it's cut in half. And this one is a sample of it where it's offset to one side. So I think I'm going to do it like this today. So let's just stick a bit of glue on the back. And it is literally just, when you've got to make sure that obviously it's around the right way. The edges are slightly different. Okay, and then I've got some these glossy dot assortments, and I'm going to pop a few of those on. Just as a little bit of sparkle. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. I find the backs of these dimensionals get everywhere. Got them all over the place. And then I'm just going to literally pop that onto the front. Probably need to just press it a bit more, and that's the box. Okay, and I haven't made a card to match, but it would be really simple to make a card using the same designer series papers and colours, and using the same tag. Just chop those off, and having a gift box and a birthday card to match, or a you could do it in any style, to Christmas, Easter. Obviously Mother's Day has just gone in this country, but yeah, it's quite a nice sized little box to put a nice gift in. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for today. I've got lots of other 3D items and fancy folds to be planning for the Facebook Lives. So hopefully I'll see you again soon. Okay, thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye.